You connect your antenna to the radio and check the SWR. It's 4 to 1. Your transmitter isn't happy. So you connect an antenna tuner. Press the tune button. A few seconds later, the SWR drops to 1 to 1. Perfect. Problem solved. Or is it? Because here's the question. What exactly changed? Did the antenna suddenly become resonant? Did it become more efficient? Did it start radiating more power? Or did the tuner simply make the transmitter think everything was okay? Today we're going to answer one of the biggest misconceptions in amateur radio. We'll see what an antenna tuner actually does, what it doesn't do, and why understanding that difference can completely change the way you think about SWR, resonance, and antenna performance. Every antenna has a natural feed point impedance. That impedance depends on many things: the antenna's length, its height above ground, nearby objects, ground conditions, even the frequency you're operating on. Sometimes that impedance is very close to 50 ohms. Sometimes it isn't. Imagine you've built a dipole that has a feed point impedance of 200 ohms. There is nothing inherently wrong with that antenna. It may be resonant, it may be efficient, but it simply doesn't match your 50 ohm transmission line. Now, if you connect that antenna directly to a 50 ohm coax, you'll have an impedance mismatch. The result is a high SWR. But notice something important. The problem isn't the antenna. The problem is that two pieces of equipment expect different impedances. One is 200 ohms, the other is 50. Now suppose you install a 4 to 1 balun. Suddenly, the transmitter sees approximately 50 ohms. The SWR is low. The mismatch is gone. Did the balun change the antenna? No. The antenna is still 200 ohms. The balun simply transformed that impedance into something the transmitter could use. Keep that idea in mind, because it's exactly what an antenna tuner does. Only instead of having one fixed transformation ratio, it now produces many different ones. Now let's look at a different situation. Suppose your dipole is too short. Instead of being resonant, its feed point impedance might be 25 minus J 80 ohms. The 25 ohms is the resistive part of the impedance. The minus J 80 ohms is the reactive part. Now this problem is different. The resistive part isn't 50 ohms, and the negative reactance tells us the antenna is electrically too short. You connect an antenna tuner. Press tune. The SWR becomes 1 to 1. So what changed? Did the antenna become longer? No. Did the resonant frequency move? No. Did the capacitance reactance disappear from the antenna itself? No. The antenna hasn't changed at all. The tuner simply transformed the impedance presented to the transmitter. And this is the point where many operators become confused. The tuner fixed the mismatch. It never fixed the antenna. The sole reason the mismatch existed in the first place is still there. If the antenna is physically too short, it's still too short. If it's physically too long, it's still too long. If the ground system is poor, it's still poor. If the antenna has excessive loss, that loss is still there. The tuner doesn't know why the impedance has the value it does. It simply accepts whatever impedance arrives at its input and transforms it into something the transmitter can safely deliver power into. Think of it this way. The antenna creates the impedance. The tuner transforms the impedance. The transmitter simply uses the impedance it sees. Each device has a different job. Now let's look at another example. Suppose you have a vertical antenna with an excellent SWR. At first glance, everything appears perfect. But let's say the antenna has 20 ohms of radiation resistance and 30 ohms of ground loss resistance. Together, they equal 50 ohms. The transmitter is happy. The SWR is low. Would adding an antenna tuner improve efficiency? The answer is no. There isn't an impedance mismatch to solve. The real problem is that more power is being dissipated as heat than it should be. The tuner cannot change radiation resistance. It cannot reduce ground loss. It cannot improve the efficiency of the antenna. Those characteristics belong to the antenna itself. This is why a perfect SWR doesn't always mean a good antenna. That's a lesson we explored in a previous video. An antenna tuner doesn't change that fact. Now let's answer another common question. If an antenna tuner doesn't fix the antenna, why do we use it? Because antenna systems rarely stays at exactly 50 ohms. The same antenna may present one impedance in your backyard and a different impedance after it's installed in a different location. In-fed antennas often present different impedances on different armature bands. Portable antennas are often installed in less than ideal locations. Rather than physically rebuilding the antenna every time conditions change, the tuner performs the impedance transformation electronically. That allows the transmitter to deliver power efficiently into the antenna system. And that's an important distinction. The tuner helps the transmitter. It doesn't rebuild the antenna. So let's return to the question we asked at the beginning. What changed when the tuner changed the SWR from 4 to 1? Did the antenna suddenly become resonant? No. Did it become more efficient? No. The antenna didn't change at all. The tuner simply transformed the impedance presented to the transmitter. The transmitter now sees a 50 ohm load, even though the antenna itself is still exactly the same. The antenna didn't suddenly become resonant. It didn't become longer. It didn't become more efficient. It didn't radiate more power simply because the tuner was connected. Those characteristics are determined by the antenna itself. An antenna tuner transforms impedance. It fixes the mismatch, not the antenna. And understanding that difference is one of the most important lessons in antenna theory. I am Trevor from Telecom Training. If you found this video helpful, I would like to see more videos like this. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss future telecom training videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.